All right, guys, welcome to a late night classroom session from the Dylan Joe Basin podcast. I'm one of the hosts here. My name is Dylan, and this is specifically directed to the board of the podcast and its members. One of the greats of all time, one of the greatest ones that ever lived, came out with this equation. There's a lot of math behind this about what you want to find out. Again, this is not original content. I did not create this. But sometimes you want to find out a lot of stuff, and it means that you have to fuck around, and you guys are just fucking around. So this is that equation here, and you can see it says find out at the bottom and fuck around at the top. So the more you, so say you want to find out just a little bit, like a 40%, you've got to fuck around 40, whatever that means. Like fuck around 40, you'll find out 40. But you want to find out 100, which is going to be up here, you have to fuck around 100. And this is specifically in regards to www.lobsters-only.com. And I think it should be lobsters-only, because if it's one word, it looks like lobsters only, lobsters, so it just all blends together. So if we're going to do this, I think it's www.lobstersonly.com, and it's in competition with www.dylanjoebasement.com, which is great, or djbasementpodcast.com. I didn't do my research, so actually, fuck it. I could do a PowerPoint, or I'm just going to do this. So people like Steve Jobs and the Microsoft guy, Bill Gates, and Andrew Tate and Shakira, and all these people didn't become big just because they just did fucking whatever and made it look like something. Google means absolutely nothing. Amazon fucking is not related at all to what Amazon does. I mean, couldn't even be more unrelated. I mean, unless you talk about like diversity and shit. Monster.com helps you find jobs and whatever, but you remember it and it makes you interested in it somewhat. So if we had a sticker in every single bathroom bar that we go to that said www.lobsters-only.com, it's probably going to bring more visitors than a podcast. There are over 5 million podcasts in the world right now. There's only one www.lobstersonly.com. I think both are available. So that's kind of my speech, is that if we're going to do this, it's fucking hilarious. We have our podcast and we go, hey, thanks for coming to the Dylan Joe Basin podcast. Be sure to visit our website, www.lobstersonly.com. We'll see you guys there. You can find out swag, more info, whatever it is. Our stickers will say Lobsters Only, and they'll obviously come to the Dylan Joe Basin podcast website, which is lobstersonly.com. And it's fucking hilarious. I can picture you saying it every time, Joe, when we have this podcast. Like, hey, Joe, what's the website? And you go, it's lobstersonly.com. Fucking hilarious. It actually goes perfectly with everything. So I was going to do a PowerPoint. I still can, but it basically was going to structure it on the Google thing, where Google doesn't mean shit, and it's like the most popular website in the world, and it's just not that specific, So Lobsters Only, the website for a Dylan and Joe Basin podcast, fucking works. Just telling you, it fucking works. Hope the board gets my approval on this one, and every listener ever. You guys are all welcome to this. Lobstersonly.com, special podcast by the Dylan Joe Basement podcast.